It's Friday, September the 22nd, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour, Barbadians, along with Dominicans living here, have stepped up their outpouring of assistance to the suffering people of hurricane-battered Dominica. Yesterday, members of the revived Dominica Association of Barbados came together at the Lady Queen of the Universal Catholic Church in Black Rock to share information and pledges to support the neighboring country. One of those present was Dominican Natalia Perch, who has helped to organize a group of 500 nationals from across the diaspora to try to secure a helicopter to drop essential supplies to persons living in the southeast of the island. Perch, who is country manager for Fast Cash Barbados Limited, noted that her focus is on the southeast because it's inaccessible and that's where her family lives.
We were trying to get a helicopter for the southeast to go drop off supplies. We have people in New Jersey, New York, all over the world from that part of the island who have basically pledged to helping out. So what we're trying to do right now, as I said, is to try to get a helicopter to at least drop the food in those areas, at least immediate need, first aid kits, water purification kits and that kind of stuff to them, so in case of anything, at least they can help themselves.
Also present was Roman Catholic Bishop of Barbados, Jason Gordon, who called for the abandonment of insularity among nationalities in Barbados and the region.
And we've been picking up stuff throughout Barbados, and all of our islands are picking up stuff and picking up collections because they're going to need money to rebuild also. What this is going to call for is us moving from the isolation that we have as individuals and as nations and as nation states to understanding ourselves in this precarious Caribbean that we now live in, where the forces of nature have done things in the last 3 to 5 years that we have not seen before.
Meanwhile, Barbadians trapped in Dominica are being urged to find their way to the capital, Roseau, for easier evacuation out of the devastated country. Just yesterday, 6 Barbadians who were trapped in a remote area of the island have been found alive. Hartley Henry, principal advisor to Dominican Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt, told Barbados Today yesterday evening that the Bajans, who were scheduled to fly out last weekend, were on a hike when they became trapped in the mountainous terrain.
As a matter of fact, the last area I would wish to be in a hurricane in Dominica, and they were in, because they were part of a hiking group. And so the families really had been very unnerved over the last few days, and it was not one of those situations where you could have, just dismissed their concerns. So, but we were able to, they were able to track them down, and they actually literally had to walk 11 hours, over 30 miles from, the southeastern side of the country right down to Roseau, in order to get, to get the civilization. So at least that's a bright spark.
Henry said efforts were underway to evacuate other Barbadians in Dominica and return them home.
As a result of Barbadians calling and their families, I know, for example, there's a couple in Mero, in the Mero area, which is in the St. Joseph area. There's another group, I know, in the Dublin area. So the persons have been calling, and we've been trying to send officers and trying to get word out. But basically what we're telling, the word we're sending out to Barbadians, there's essentially try to make your way to Roseau, irrespective of where. And I tell you, if that group could have walked 30 miles, 11 hours to Roseau, then anyone else can. And what we're trying to do is to encourage persons to make their way to Roseau, because there's now enough marine vessels in operation, that if they get it to Roseau, then there's a possibility we'll either get them either to Barbados or to St. Lucia or Martinique or somewhere. But the key thing now is for them to take the initiative of getting down to Roseau, because there's no way we can get out to them.
The Dominican Prime Minister has issued an urgent appeal for a large number of helicopters to help drop off critical relief supplies to the many cut-off communities on the island.
We're going to need a lot of helicopter services to airlift the supplies to the respective communities. So if anybody's listening to me, helicopter services are going to be critical to get the supplies to people in large quantities, so that we can minimize the misery and the suffering, also the fact that they really do need the water supply. Every village I've been to, they have indicated to me water, and supplies for the babies and infants.
Prime Minister Skerritt also made an impassioned plea for immediate help in airlifting seriously ill patients from the General Hospital, which was severely damaged by Hurricane Maria.
We're running a hospital now worse than in the military, in a war zone. We're running really an archaic system. Everything has to be manual. We cannot, the dialysis system machines are down because of the roofs blown off and no electricity. Any patient with who need critical care, we have to airlift the person because the ICU has been completely destroyed by the hurricane. So that's one of our major concerns there, and if we can get help for this, the Martinican authorities are indicated are prepared to assist us in airlifting some of the patients to Martinique. Any other country who can assist with that would certainly be helpful.
We'll be back in just a moment.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Good morning, Phillips & Company, may I help? Oh, certainly. One moment, please. Miss Phillips?
Yeah?
There's a lady on the line from the Nation newspaper who would like to speak with you.
The Nation? Will she go on?
Well, they're trying to sell us some ads.
Look, don't make me laugh this morning. Ads in the Nation? They're real expensive, and for 1 year, nobody ain't buying them papers no more. Nobody want to steal news. I hear reading Barbados Today online for free. So I tell she thanks for calling, but no thanks. We just advertising Barbados Today, families. Tell she is Barbados Today all the way.
Okay, I'll pass on the message. Ma'am, are you still there? Oh, she put it down.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Thanks for staying with us. A Jamaican accused of killing a man last December before fleeing to the Cayman Islands is seeking to prevent deportation from that nation because he contends his right to life may be in danger. 29-year-old O'Brien Ellis, who was arrested in Cayman for illegal landing, is seeking a court declaration that an order to return to Jamaica would violate his right to life, as well as prohibitions against torture and inhumane treatment in Cayman's Constitution Order 2009. And finally, Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte says he will approve his own son's killing if allegations against him of drug trafficking are found to be true. Opponents have criticized Duterte's open threat to reinstate martial law and his brutal war on drugs that has killed thousands. And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.